I am your brother in Christ. Welcome to our Death of YouTube live stream, I guess. Oh, this has been a headache over the last couple of days listening to this and seeing this happen. It is, to say the least, very, very, very disappointing to see this outcome and how they're handling it. Before I get into that, we really should just take a look back at how YouTube's handled it. I guess there is some, YouTube's really handling this poor. They're trying to consider themselves two completely different entities when it's convenient and only when it's convenient. And unfortunately, we get screwed either way as far as the actual creators go. So first of all, let's look back at how YouTube's handled definitely some of my videos and a lot of other people's videos that I've seen with censorship. They've implemented censorship on many conservative as well as Christian views. Anyone that criticizes Islam, anything like that, I've had videos of mine taken down. If you look at definitely the series I did on Sharia law, if you look at that, there was actually one last video that I uploaded for that one. I think it's a 13-part series, and they deleted that one. So the whole climax, what I've been building up to in each one, got deleted. Yeah, that one was annoying. But I've also seen a lot of others. David Wood has just had another video taken down. We weren't even able to watch it. We were able to catch it on different streaming platform, a different video platform. But before I go any further, I need to make this very, very crystal clear. This live stream is PG-13. You see it? PG-13. Let me make it bigger. PG-13. Anyone that is under 13 should not be watching this video without parental consent in the way of a letter sent to YouTube's department. And once YouTube approves and confirms that they have received your parents' letter, then and only then should you watch this video. If you watch it any other way and you're under 13, it is illegal. Do not do it. It is a criminal act. I'm sure there's some repercussions. I'm not sure what they are for you. But there's gotta be some. Don't do it, I guess. It's me saying don't do it unless you're 13 years or older. I'll explain why later in the video. Unless you're under 13. In that case, shut this off. Don't watch it without that written permission form, I guess, sent to YouTube. Yeah, through snail mail. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Absolutely perfect. But YouTube has censored multiple people, and it's a question of what was YouTube? What was the function of YouTube? Was it something that was, oh, they're a provider, they're all they're doing is providing a service like Verizon, like any phone service or internet provider? Is that a platform that they're providing, or are they acting as not just a platform, but as a publisher? The difference between these two will really play. You'll see how they play and how they should react and how they should act and where the buck stops. It's really the question that we're looking at, where the power ends and where a liability really lies. YouTube, for the longest time, sold itself as just a platform that anyone in the world can. Let me check something here. Let me refresh, make sure I'm actually live. That would be unfortunate. Yep, I see myself. Okay. We are good. I just want to double check. That would have been horrible to do this whole thing, and it's not live. That would suck. Okay. So YouTube, for the longest time, sold itself as being this platform that anyone could use to upload any videos, you know, cat videos, anything like that. After a while, there ended up being stuff, you know, it's controversial, and YouTube decided, oh, we are going to progressively censor these sorts of points of view or this content. And the one I've heard everyone go to, at least the pro censorship group goes to, is, you don't want ISIS, you know, recruiting on YouTube. Well, that's an extreme case. And I'm one that believes that all speech, that free speech should be without restriction. In so saying that unless you're actually calling for harm as being, we should go murder someone and this is how you should do it, here's a plan right here, you should be allowed to say whatever you want, even if it is even to death threats, as long as that's what they say is verbal death threats. Yeah, on the internet, yeah, I mean, I believe that does actually cross the line as being legal if it's credible. If it's just someone spouting off, people spout off, let's be honest. So YouTube decided that they want to censor those sort of conversation, those sort of people. Me being one of them, because I don't censor myself. I say what the Bible says, and what it is, and if it's a sin, it's a sin. If it's not, then it's not. I'm not going to soft pedal anything. And that got me on YouTube's not very liked list very quickly. That was fast. But so YouTube wanted to act as a publisher more than a platform for a while. So they were censoring, but saying, oh, you can't do this. You had so many different, the main thing I'm thinking about is the ad apocalypse that they had not too long ago. The Vox ad apocalypse. And that was because YouTube was trying to be this censor, trying to put forth this publishing sort of persona, I guess you'd call. So that they are basically, a publisher would be responsible for whatever they publish. So they would fit the bill for it. It would go to them. They would be responsible for it. In that case, they have control over what you publish. They can say, no, we're not going to do this, where a provider like Verizon or some sort of internet provider doesn't censor what you say on their phones. That would be an extreme invasion of privacy if they were listening in on all your phone calls and say, oh, you cannot say that word. You can't talk like that. You have to talk like this. You have to upload this type of video. You have to, and that's what they were doing. And if they want to act like a publisher, okay, become a publisher and stop saying you're a platform that everyone can use, because obviously that's not true if you're being a publisher. So we had to live under that, and while they're doing that, they're pushing everyone to be kid-friendly. Everyone has to engage kids. Everyone has to be focused on children. Make sure everything is family-friendly and ready for kids. Remember, this is PG-13. This is not family-friendly. This is not intended for young audience at all. Just making that clear. We will find out later in the video, but just want to make that clear. So a couple of weeks ago, I'm so bad at this. So the acronym is COPPA. So COPPA. So I guess YouTube violated the COPPA agreement, which basically states that you can't advertise to children under the age of 13 or track their whereabouts or get any information from them. So you can't do that. And I guess, you know, YouTube does do the recommended video list. So if they track what videos a 12-year-old watches, you know, all the Minecraft videos, and then looks at that and says, oh, you like Minecraft? Well, let's recommend you know, this Minecraft video and this Minecraft video, and oh, your favorite YouTuber just came out with another one. Let's give you an alert about it, and then put it in your feed, make sure it's recommended to you, because I know you like that stuff. So we're just going to make sure that you know that we know what you want, and we're putting it there for you to read. That is what violated it. That is what was, I guess, wrong. I wouldn't think that there was anything wrong with it, but because of how the law is written, that would be considered advertising to kids who are under 13. Now, this is all fair. Originally, YouTube had this lockdown. In fact, they were completely compliant. They should have been able to sail through this without any problems. All they had to do is say, hey, when you sign up, I want to know if you're 13 years or older, or have parents' consent if you're not. And it's a checkbox. It's a checkbox. Anyone that's created a YouTube account knows that you have to be 13 years or older. If you're between 13 and 16, you have to have your parents' consent in order to create a YouTube account, in order to look at the YouTube videos. So, now, I know originally that you could look at them without having an account. I have not tried that in a long time. I don't know if they've changed that, so I can't say to that. That might have been a loophole that was there. But they should be able to not hide behind it, but basically say, hey, we've already done this. This lawsuit from the federal government, it doesn't have a leg to stand on. We're good to go. We're fine. And sail on past. That was until they were idiots. They went and proudly proclaimed to the people who would be advertising on YouTube that they are the number one kids website that kids would use, and their demographic was 8 through 12. They literally said their demographic was 8 through 12. That violated. That was such an act of absolute violation on it. It blows my mind. Okay, so you pushed everyone to be kid-friendly because you wanted to advertise for kids, but you knew that it was illegal to do so. But you were getting away with it because you were able to hide behind this sort of permission that the parents had to give permission. They had to check that box in order to make the videos that... Yeah, I guess that didn't fly when you said that your target demographic was 8 years old. That didn't work so well. So that brings us to what crap we are dealing with today. The crap that we are dealing with is basically with this act that they violated, COPPA. The federal government's coming down and saying, okay, you have to pay this large fee, and then all your videos have to not be for 13 or younger. It cannot attract a younger audience. So that's like 90% of YouTube, actually, at this point. Because everyone was pushed, because they didn't want to be demonetized, so everyone pushed for kid-appropriate in order for them to be able to keep monetization. And now it's bit everyone in the butt. So YouTube is now playing this new game where they're saying, no, whoa. We are just a platform. Yeah, we're a platform. That means we are not responsible for the videos that are released. We are not like, a publisher which monitors and maintains and approves videos that are released. It's not our problem. It's the creator's problem. So we're going to stand back and hide behind this facade that we're just a platform And the creators are the ones who are going to be hit the hardest. And so being that before the end of the year, we have to go through and say each of our videos, if they are kid-friendly or not kid-friendly. Needless to say, most of mine are not kid-friendly. In fact, all of them aren't. They all aren't. There's none that are targeted for kids. It's not like, ooh, fun time, artsy stuff, and let's do this. Although there is someone here, that does do the fun time, artsy stuff. Fun time, artsy person. What is your opinion of such said actions? Okay. Why such said actions bad?
So, okay, first of all, I understand why protection is important. I would very
As a
much...
mother, you understand why protecting kids would be important? Oh, this is news.
Yes, I know. It's just shocking that protecting kids is important. But in all seriousness, what's actually shocking is the extent to which YouTube is royally screwing this up. So, okay, if I make kids targeted videos,
Which this is not. This is not a kid-targeted video.
This is not a kid-targeted video.
This is 13 years or older.
You should have been gone a whole long time
Just
ago.
to let you know.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we're clear.
I think we're clear. For now. But I don't know. The YouTube algorithm is a problem here because in order to make sure that the videos that you're marking are how they say they are, they're going to be listening. And so since we've said kid, 10,000 times in this video?
10,000 already?
They'll probably think that it's a kid-targeted video.
Well, it's not only YouTube that will be going through it. It's also the federal government who will be going through each video. And if a producer, or not really producer, creator, like ourselves, puts a video out there and we're like, this is not kid. This is talking about sex in the Bible. Although there's fun pictures because she's doing all the art and it looks amazing. We're like, it's not kid appropriate. It's talking about sex. But because it is artsy and it's got colors and it's got animations, if the federal government looks at it and says, oh, no, that's kid. That's kid. Or just looks at the thumbnail and it looks beautiful and pretty, then, oh, that's targeted for kids. What would be the issue that would happen in that case?
First of all, if it's just YouTube talking about, because YouTube does some stuff and the government does some stuff, but if it's YouTube that picks this up, then first of all, you will not be able to have any comments on that video. So there goes any reaction from the audience, any mixing with opinions or anything. There goes.
Scoot up. You're out of my camera
sorry.
range. My camera is very limited. It is a webcam.
Okay. So
you get fuzzy.
So no more interaction with the audience, which is very crucial.
Definitely when you're doing
how
art.
You're doing, and what people think. There goes all your user engagement, which is how YouTube knows what videos are actually liked. You won't be able to add them to watch later playlists. You won't be able to add them to any playlist.
So this is limiting if I was just watching your videos and they're classified as kid videos, then I wouldn't be able to add them to any of my playlists?
Correct.
I wouldn't be able to leave a comment, even though I'm older than 13. I know that's surprising, but I'm older than 13, just to let you know. I wouldn't be able to add it to any of my playlists or leave a comment or let you know how beautiful your art is or anything like that?
Nope. None of that, because obviously it's targeted towards kids, and so if you're watching, you must obviously be a kid. And so, yeah, no comments, no playlist, no watch later. In addition to that, it won't be promoted within YouTube. So no more popping up on the little side saying watch next or, recommended for you. None of that. That's all gone.
Even if the person who would be watching that is over 13, right?
Yes.
So nothing at all. No support whatsoever.
Correct. So there goes any chance you pretty much had of ever seeing that video. I mean, maybe you'll find it, but let's hope the government doesn't find it, because that's the next stage. If the government finds it and is like, oh, well, clearly, since there's colors in the thumbnail, that it's for kids. Oh, yeah, $42,000 fine per video.
Per video. So if you had 5 videos that you mismarked, you didn't click the freaking checkbox, and you said, oh, well, these are about sex, so obviously the kids shouldn't be watching this, so this is plus PG-13, you would still be fined $42,000. I'm sorry, that's just such a large amount. Now, granted, most people would say, well, all you have to do is protest it. Thank you very much. She's got a crying baby to go check on. Talking about babies.
You're also not allowed in videos.
Yes, definitely not any children allowed in videos, except for those who don't actually, those who have to mark them not. Yeah, that's a whole nother one. But $42,000 fine per video. So this gets reported. It's in there. People who are pro this will obviously go to and jump to the conclusion, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter. I mean, you might get a fine, but you can, go to court. You can say, hey, I don't have to pay it. Yeah, you could do that, but there's a cost for that. If you go to court in order to try to get rid of this fee, you've got to pay court fees. If you win, then maybe those court fees might be waived because it's really not your fault. But at the same time, you're battling against the government. Someone has a lot more money than you, and it be the government. You think they're going to lose that easily? No.
All their money and all of your.
They got all their money and all yours, according to her. And that is right. They got yours, and they can tap into anyone. They can tap into all the viewers. They can take your money through taxes and use it to destroy your favorite YouTube channels. They could use it to destroy the stuff you love. And that's what they are basically threatening to do. So it's not just YouTube. They're threatening to go after every video platform. So there's a chance that after YouTube is done, and this is a nail in the coffin. YouTube is dying. They were doing it to themselves originally because they were trying to be this. And again, this goes back to, what is YouTube? Is YouTube a publisher, or is it a platform? If it's a platform, then YouTube shouldn't have the ability to say you can't have certain videos. They might have some terms, so it's just like, okay, you can't, cut people's heads off. It has to be at least some sort of under R rating. But other than that, they shouldn't be able to go into each video and say, this is allowed, this is not. Your free speech doesn't matter here because we are a private company which is producing this. And in that case, if that is what they are, fine, if they're the producers. But guess what? That $42,000 doesn't go to the creators in that case. It would go to YouTube each and every time. But YouTube doesn't want that, obviously. And they're not even going to go through and necessarily check on everyone's video. That's why the federal government's going to be going through as well. And if they catch you, then that's where the $42,000 fine comes in. But if YouTube's just hiding behind this platform facade, they can't have it both ways. They want to have the power when it's convenient for them without any of the responsibility. And that's what it comes down to. Is YouTube does not want any responsibility. Yet they want to get all the ad revenue. They want to get everything from it. Now, there are many YouTubers out there that sole financial dependence is on YouTube. They're making a living on YouTube. You've got entire companies now that are built up where you'll have one person and then under them will be a whole bunch of people that they've hired on over the years in order to make this. You're endangering all of their jobs because of these fines because you cannot monetize if you're not kid friendly. Now, I can't monetize anyway. Why? Because YouTube doesn't like me. And that's where it comes down to for me. So I'm in the clear. All mine are going to be, they're not kid friendly. All mine aren't going to be kid friendly. But if you say something is kid friendly, you won't be able to monetize on it. Because it's targeted for that kid demographic. I won't be able to monetize anyway because, again, YouTube hates me. So, not going to be, don't have to worry about that. But there are a lot of people, Markiplier, MatPat, Game Theory, PewDiePie. I mean, a ton of people out there who rely on monetization in order to make ends meet. And they've had to bend over backwards and had to push all their content in order to be more kid friendly in order to keep that monetization. Now that they pushed it to be all kid friendly, they're getting the rug pulled out from underneath them because all that stuff is no longer going to be able to be monetized. So you're looking at an 80 to 90% pay cut, basically, where they're only going to be able to make 10 to 20% of what they originally were. I mean, if you pull in $1,000 a week working a factory job, and all of a sudden now you're only getting paid $100 a week, that's unlivable. You can't do that. Or even if you got $200 a week, that's still unlivable. You cannot live on that. And that's what YouTube is basically allowing this to happen, because they are standing back and saying, oh, we're not publishers. We're just a platform, even though we're, for the last 3 years, we've been acting solely as a publisher. But we're not really a publisher. So that brings us to, what the do we do now? What on earth do we do now? Where do we go? What is an option out there? Right now, it's BitChute. BitChute is by far one of the fastest growing YouTube competitors. Right now, as long as they don't go down the path that YouTube did, and they say that they are just solely platform provider, just going to provide this platform, we're just providing a service. There are some laws to keep going on them, but other than that, it's it. You guys can have your own opinion, you guys can have free speech. We're not going to censor you. Then fine. I'm very excited to see what happens with them. I'm growing quite rapidly on there, and I've created my accounts a couple months ago, and I'm extremely pleased with it. As far as other creators, if you were going to look at other options, I'd recommend BitChute as the one, and I'll put that in the link and will be to my actual BitChute account. Let me double check to make sure that is in the description currently. Yes, it is. It is in the description right there. And I'm going to copy that and put that into the comment section. Well, not comment section, but live chat. There we go. And my chat is closed. When I tried to make a comment. Oh! We said kids too much! They reported us! Let me see if it was just my screw up on my end. There we go. Do you see it?
All I see is...
Okay, well, I don't know if the chat is live anymore. That sucks. If you're out there and watching this, please put something in the chat. I don't know if anyone actually clicked on and was watching live. So, let me refresh and do another test here to see. But that, wow, okay. Kids. Screw you. Put that in there again. Did that pop up?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we actually do have chat. It was just a screw up on my end. That was a little scary. It's like, oh crap, already.
Okay.
Didn't take them long at all. Okay. So, like I said, I put that in the conversation, the chat down below, as far as BitChute. I'll be releasing this on
To the
Bit.
side.
To the side?
Not.
Oh, to the side. I'm sorry.
Also
It counts on what you're using.
No, it won't be.
Okay.
Oh.
So it's in the description. Even then, my wife is correcting me. This is my life, and that is my wife, and this is how I get corrected. So, okay. So BitChute would be the best option. As far as if you're a content developer, it's very simple. As far as the setup goes, it's pretty quick. It's pretty easy. I've looked at a lot of different websites. None of them really appealed as far as competitors to YouTube goes. They were either really hard to use as far as producing something on there, or just almost, or allowed to be, it had so many sensors on there already that it wasn't even worth. It was actually worse than YouTube. So far, BitChute hasn't. That, tell you truthfully, that's no guarantee that it wouldn't. It's very likely that they could decide, oh, we're just going to censor everyone everywhere, and it's not going to be, there's not going to be no option. And if COPPA has their way, the people who are pushing COPPA, then that's what's going to be happening, is we're going to get censored everywhere without any sort of appeal process, because there isn't, other than going to court over it. And that by itself is going to be a huge cost that someone like me who does these videos, does live streams every now and then, gets reactions from you guys, talks to you guys. I mean, I don't make a penny on this. I really don't. And I can't afford to be going and fighting a legal battle in order to try to get my videos back up and not pay this outrageous fee per video. So if you got 100 videos, that's a lot of money. That's over 4 million, if my math is right. Yes, 4 million. My math is right. I'm good. You got something to add?
Yeah, so to make matters worse, to kind of put this in a little bit more perspective, COPPA literally called content creators fish in a barrel.
For them to take out.
For them to shoot. Which...
Yeah, you don't got anything? That was it? That's it. That's all she got. That's all she got. Yeah, basically, fish in the barrel for them to shoot, take money from, and be a little money hog. I mean, they'll probably go, if they had their way, they'd be going after BitChute sooner or later. The thing is, my channel spreads the gospel. We look at the Bible, we talk about it, I engage with people, we look at what the Holy Scriptures actually say, and what happened around them, the culture, taking everything into context. You know what? That's what this channel is about. That's what my hopes are for this. And if I never make a cent off it, that's fine. I don't care. It doesn't make a hill of beans difference to me. If I need to find out what hill beans means. I use that phrase. I'm sorry. I use that phrase, and someone actually called me out on it. It says, "What does that actually mean?" Someday I want to find a hill of beans just to prove you wrong. Fine. So, but as far as this channel goes, I'm doing this because I love God. I love being able to look at the scriptures. I do these investigations anyway for my own spiritual growth and development. So anyone who is over the age of 13 can join me on any of these, and we can look at the scriptures together and walk through logically what they mean in context. And if it happens here on YouTube, great. I like being here on YouTube. I mean, we have 233 people joining us so far on here as far as subscribers go. And that's great. That's fantastic. But it's okay if it doesn't work out. It's okay if they come after me. It's okay. I'll leave. I'll go to BitChute. And if BitChute sinks, I'll go to the next one. And if that one sinks, I'll go to the next one. I don't care. As long as the gospel is spreading, I don't care what personally happens to me if I ever reach even 10 people. I'll keep doing this to spread the gospel as long as one person is willing to hear it. If one person grows in Christ because of a video that I made, it's worth it. And yes, my young son is doing well. He's not feeling terribly great today. He's, I think, got his first little illness. So he's having a hard time. So if you hear him crying back there, that's why. He's just, his stomach's upset and it's giving him pains. And at the same time, he's teething, which is never a fun process. Let's be honest. It's a pain in the mouth in this case. So, I guess if YouTube decides, okay, well, screw it. Your brother in Christ is obviously not what we want as far as what he's looking into, because no one should question Islam or look at the scriptures or question anyone with a victim identity crisis, because that's what it really is. I'll be on BitChute. The link is in the description below as long as this video is up. As well as I post on Minds. I try to post there semi-regularly, counting on how work goes and how I can do it. Also, Facebook I do still, I barely hang on there. So, those are the places that I release before I start uploading or start streaming. I will release saying, hey, I'm going to be here at this time. So those are in the description down below. Go and click on them. We are looking at 41 minutes. This was supposed to be a quick one. I guess we went through the entire YouTube hating on creators list. Because originally the whole thing was, come here, we'll pay you to put videos up. Now it's come from, come here, we'll pay you to put videos up, except if you don't say the wrong thing and you make sure that it's not kid appropriate, then we'll pay you. This one little gap here, now, we'll pay you. And so far, I don't know, I haven't seen anything in BitChute as them paying. So there's, what?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Very limited crowds.
Very limited crowd? Okay. So they don't give anything. They don't give anything to the creators, to my knowledge. I could be wrong about that. Again, I'm quite new to the platform. So we'll see what happens. So let's go ahead and end this with prayer. That is not allowed for children. This is a prayer that's not appropriate for children in any way, shape, or form. This is PG-13. I'm going to make this clear in every video. There's many YouTubers, by the way, that are looking at actually giving a long, using many funny words at the beginning of their YouTube video to make sure that YouTube knows this is not kid appropriate. Me, I'm just going to have that up. Am I lazy? I guess I might be.